Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Tonneson, and I wanted to welcome you to the first edition of Design by Kelly's podcast, Coffee Chats with Kelly. Grab your coffee and join us. Today, we are celebrating our third anniversary as a company and wanted to take this opportunity to shed light on a few of the projects we've been working on and also what the future holds for Design by Kelly. So, without further ado, I wanted to introduce the founder and CEO of Design by Kelly, Kelly Thomas.
Thank you, Emily, for that great introduction. Like she said, I'm Kelly Thomas. I am an entrepreneur, a web and graphic designer, a homeschool mom with 4 amazing kids, and the owner of Design by Kelly. And you probably noticed from the name of our podcast, I love coffee too. So I love to help small businesses, churches, and all other types of nonprofits to find their brand and to teach them how to develop and to use an online presence to reach their target audience. I'm really excited for this opportunity today, Emily, to talk about where we started as a business and where we're going. So what do you want to know about Design by Kelly?
I just wanted to start off with a few questions. I was wondering, where did the idea for Design by Kelly start?
Well, I've always been a very creative person, even as a young child. I sing, I play piano. I started piano lessons when I was 4 years old. I love to do all types of crafting, woodworking, refinishing furniture, all that fun creative stuff. At one point, I owned a home staging business, and my love for colors and textures just kind of changed into graphic design and then eventually into web design. So I worked as a director of communications for a large church in the Houston area for several years until 2017 when my husband passed away unexpectedly. So at that time, I kind of had to change gears and decide what was best for my children and my family. And I left my full-time job to stay home with my kids. And then after about a year of being home, I ran into a friend of mine, Pastor Bryant Lee, at the store one day. I had known him from my time working at the church, and he wanted to know what I'd been up to because he had started a church plant. And so I told him that I had just finished designing my home church's website. I did it as a volunteer because I needed some help with it. And I told him how much I enjoyed it and I had really missed doing that kind of work. And he looked at me with that smile he had and he said, "My church needs a website." And so that's how it began. I designed him his church website, and then that one led to another one and another one. And before you knew it, I had a business and a name, and we were off and flying. When we first started, I worked only with churches, but then I found these small businesses within the churches started contacting me, and they were like, "Hey, can you help me like you did Bryant Lee?" And I was like, "Sure." And so then we branched out into smaller businesses. After our first year, we added in graphic design and branding services, and then we added in social media management services. So here we today at 3 years, and we've gone from a staff of just me to 5, and we've designed over 20 websites and have helped over 30 businesses and nonprofits brand themselves.
That's awesome to hear. I was also wondering, what is Design by Kelly primarily known for, and what separates you from the competition around you in your area?
I would say there are 2 things that I think really separate us from others. First is that we're affordable. That was my main concept that I wanted to build this business on, that everyone should have access to high quality, affordable design. I tell clients when I meet them the first time that I'm in the business of helping people, and I truly am. That is my main goal. Second, I really get to know my clients. So I really want to know them and I want to know their business. And I start that off by offering a no pressure free consultation via Zoom to just first of all see if we're even a good fit for each other and if it's something we want to do. I ask them a lot of questions. They ask me a whole lot of questions. I look at their social media presence. I like to see what people says about them. And if they are a local business, I might stop by and I might even visit. If they're a church, I'll attend a church service. I just want to know what they're all about and what their goals are so that I can help them. Because I don't think you can market a client's target audience if you don't know that client first. So my clients are part of that design process from day one. And while I always will give you my professional opinion and professional advice and tips, I always welcome their feedback and I always hear them because I think that's important. And best of all, once they become a client, they're always a client. I'm always a phone call away. My clients email and text me all the time whenever they need help or have questions.
Yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice to hear. And I was also wondering, what is your favorite part of running Design by Kelly?
I think for me, the favorite part is all the people I get to meet. You get people from all different lives, all different walks. They all have different goals, but the one thing they all have in common is they're trying to start a small business.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of cool. I like to hear all their stories, how they got started, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. And then my favorite part is to take all that and figure out how my business fits into their goal, and how I can help them succeed. I also love that we can work with anybody. We don't just work with clients in Houston. We have clients all over the United States. And recently we even spoke with somebody in Dubai.
That's great. That's awesome. So, as I've heard through my research, Design by Kelly does often give back to the community. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
I wanted a big part of my business to be about giving back, especially to my clients, since we work with so many nonprofits and those types of businesses that raise money. So I always look for opportunities where we can do that. One of my favorite ways is I teach a 6-part class to students between the ages of 14 and 18 on how to design a mock business. They learn the basics of graphic design, along with naming a mock business, writing out their business goals. I teach them to design a logo, a business card, a website, and a business presentation. And throughout this whole process, I teach them how to use the Canva software. I do this completely for free. And many of the kids I've taught, they still come to me with questions and I mentor them as they begin their own small businesses later on. So I've had the opportunity to teach this course twice now, once with Coming Out Ministries, and I'm starting one this week with We Care Connection. They are both clients of ours in the Missouri area, and they work with underprivileged youth in the inner city. So I'm also excited this fall that I'm going to be teaching a 13-week graphic design course at Home Run Ministries, which is our local homeschool group. And I'm also going to be giving back to the Transformation Outreach Center during our giveaway, which we're going to talk about later. But it is a nonprofit that was started by Pastor Bryant Lee, my first client, who I mentioned earlier. So I felt there was no better way to celebrate 3 years than by giving back to the person who helped me start this.
That's awesome. So, as we're celebrating 3 years of Design by Kelly, I'm wondering, what do you think the future holds for your company?
I mean, my goal, of course, is always continued and consistent growth. I want to expand my business by helping as many clients as I can and as many business owners as I can. But I want to be careful to never lose sight of the reason I started the business, even though I continue to grow. So I'm going to look for new ways to add things to the business. I often ask my clients what they need or what they feel is the new thing that's coming out, and be able to offer things of value to them.
So, while we're talking about clients, I'm wondering, can anyone create their own business?
Absolutely. I think there's so many amazing resources available now to people. So as long as you have a vision and a goal, I really think anybody can do it. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you that. You're going to learn as you go, and there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. But if there's one thing I say often, if you're not learning, you're not growing.
That is very true. What are the most impactful things you have learned throughout your journey while creating this company?
If I had to pick the one thing I think I've learned the most, it would simply be that I'm enough. I mean, when I first started, there was times that I was so insecure. I didn't think I had the skills to do it. I would question myself, can I do what they're asking? What if they ask me something I don't know how to do? But, I just had to keep learning and believing in myself. And one of my biggest supporters starting out was my dad. And he would encourage me every day. And he'd say, "You're great at this. You can do this. Don't give up." So when I first started this business, I was in a really tough place emotionally. I mean, I had just lost my husband. I was trying hard to find a new normal for myself and for my family. And I think in a lot of ways, starting this business helped me move forward through some of that. So when I sit here today and I reflect on all I've done the past 3 years, and I look at the growth that I've experienced, it definitely acknowledges for me in a lot of ways that I made the right choice and that I definitely can do this. Um, I know that my husband would be very proud of me and the legacy I'm leaving for my children. And I want my kids to know that no matter what life throws at you, you can do anything. You can accomplish your dreams. A few years ago, I was talking to a really good friend about the loss of my husband, and he told me something that really stuck with me. And he said, Kelly, God doesn't waste anything. And if you had asked me 5 years ago where I would be today, I would never have imagined I would be where I am. But I truly believe that I'm where I am because it's supposed to be where I am, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think God's just going to work all that out for good. So I would say to anybody starting a business, the odds are stacked against you. Most small businesses fail in the first 5 years. My advice to you is to start small and don't tackle it all at once. Find what you do best and start there, and then let it grow naturally, and you will be successful.
So here we are celebrating 3 years of Design by Kelly. You've done some great work in your community and around the world. We wanted to know, how are you celebrating 3 years of your company?
Well, I am really excited because we're doing the biggest giveaway we have ever done. We do one every year, but this year we figured, hey, let's top it off. So from May 2nd through May 9th, you can enter our giveaway on our website, and all the details are there. But I can tell you we are giving away 2 website landing page designs, one to a nonprofit and one to a small business. And we're also giving away a free branding package. So you can visit the website and get entered into those. And we also are opening our Canva template shop, which we've wanted to do for some time. So we're really excited about that. We have resources you can buy in there, but we also have some free resources in there you can go download at no cost. May 2nd through May 9th, if you go into our Canva shop and make any purchase, you're going to get 10% off. And on top of that, I'm going to give 10% of those proceeds to the Transformation Outreach Center. That's the one I mentioned earlier. Brantley was our first client, and this is his nonprofit. So we thought there was no better way to give back this week than to the person who helped me start. So I also want to give out a quick shout out today to KR Create and Learn. And they are one of our clients, and they designed for us these really cool coffee tumblers. They have our logo on them and our website address. And every month we're going to do a podcast, and whoever our guest is with us, they are going to get one of these. So I'm going to be sending this one to Pastor Bryant Lee as a thank you for all you've done for me. So be looking for this, Pastor Bryant Lee. It's coming your way. One last thing I wanted to mention before we end, Emily, is that I could have never done this business by myself. I started on my own, but at 6 months, my oldest daughter, Kara, joined, and she was our social media manager and still is. And she has been a huge help to me over the years. And then Joe, my late husband's brother, joined about a year ago to help with web design. And then a month ago, I hired 2 new people. One is Emily, our host today, and the other is Maddie, who is my new marketing director. So we are really excited to see what year 4 brings. And I'm just really excited.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you all for listening today to our first edition of our podcast. We invite you to visit our website, designbykelly.org, to check out our portfolio and also to find out how we can change your small business for good. We also invite you to visit our Canva template shop to help begin your website design journey. And thank you so much. And we hope you join us for the next edition of Coffee Chats with Kelly.